Hello, hello, hello. I am so sorry. I'm like 10 minutes late. A meeting that ran a little longer than I thought it would. Uh, I only wanted like 15 minutes at the time, but it's okay. It ran over. Um, you guys are forgiving. So I appreciate you guys coming. I'm so sorry I'm late, but moving on. So I'm going to give you guys a little more time to get here since I was late myself. And as you can see, we have a different background now. Which way? Yeah, we have a different background now. So I want to show um, we've been talking a lot about self-help, things that we can do to help ourselves. Hey sis, how you doing? Um, I want to talk about like different ways that I have shown that sorry about that different ways to self-soothe. So I've shown you different ways that you can recognize yourself and things you could do to help yourself. And we talked about energy that you can spend to try to um, you know, exert that energy that you're having from being frustrated, being, stressed, etc. So things you can implement. And one of the things I do is right here, um, behind me. I, hi Michael, how you doing? Mr. Wiley, how you doing? I what I do is I use my hey Daddy Lee, that's my father, that's one of my fathers there. What I do is I do aquarium. Now I'm gonna change the light. This is the light that I normally use when I'm trying to grow the plants. So I changed the aquarium from artificial plants to live plants. And that's one of the ways that I've improved on my hobby. And this handy dandy remote here will be used to help with our prompts here. Oh, do you? Do you? I love aquariums because it helps to put your mind at ease. Um, and if you think about the spiritual aspects of things regarding the aquarium, water means life. And then the fish, they're always breeding or doing something. It's never dull because they're always doing something back there, you know. So oftentimes, to bring my mind at ease or at peace or to center myself, I'll watch those aquariums that I have, and I'll fall asleep. My mind will be at peace. um and I'll be at ease. It's just so liberating. And I'm going to share some videos with you all. I have shared some on my Facebook page. It is not my government name, but sometimes I use different names. So I will be showing different um, videos which explore self-soothing methods. And I wanted to guide us into that. So all of these videos have been progressive, so that to say you can find your way of self-soothing and whatever it is that you do to exert the energy that you have that is otherwise negative, to turn it into a positive uh, source of energy, so that you're not becoming frustrated and damaging, if that makes sense. So sometimes in our frustration, we can become a little damaging, okay? Because it's long suffering is one of the fruits of the spirit biblically. But if you research other studies that show studies of positive faith, you will see there that they too inform you that long suffering is a part of this journey that we call life. So you don't want to be damaging yourself at the same time of trying to self-soothe. So you have to find a way, and that can be very difficult, to find a way where you can soothe yourself without damaging yourself. Some people don't understand how they get in their own way. So when you don't understand how you get in your own way, people they may not have a better way to help you understand that. So we're going to try this way. Okay, so yes, please subscribe and make sure you subscribe on YouTube, check out the Facebook and all those other places, those other avenues where we are on TikTok and all those things. So you can see how this relates to your ability to self heal, self soothe, and be patient in your waiting. Now, that's one thing universally. Nobody likes to wait. No, everybody wants it now. And your id is self gratification or whatever kind of gratification right now, not later, but right now. And that's what we want to get into. How can we right now do what we need so that we can feel better? So, okay, for example, me, I experience high stressful times, but since owning an aquarium, like so many years ago, I won't date myself, but since before I got married, my husband, a part of the courtship, he decided to purchase me a fish tank. And he took two paychecks to get that. So he just knew I was going to tell him yes. I'm just saying, he just knew. He was like, "Yep, got him." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. Let's see where this goes." But I already told him yes that I would, marry him. So we were just trying to see like when it was going to lead to marriage. So one of the things that I learned is that I had to find a method to self-soothe and to de-stress without spending money. That's number one, and without going out all the time because I was never reachable by phone. Everyone complained I was never able to be reached by phone. She can't give you everything again. Yes, I can't give it all to you in 1 hour because it is fairly difficult to explain everything in one setting. So I have to put out multiple videos because and it's going to be really interesting because a lot of people always ask that know about my aquariums. They always ask a lot of questions. So I already know what kind of questions you're going to ask. So I'm going to put all that information in detail in videos. Okay. So it'd be very easy to follow and you can always click back. And there's going to be, who needs to read? I know, right? When you say it again, I didn't. And then he tried to steal like a month's worth of checks trying to get me a ring, and I was like, you don't even need to, I already told you yes, we grew up together, so you kind of knew already. And then you kind of seal the deal when you show interest in something that you have no interest in, but you're interested in it because I'm interested in it. So that's love. And that's the kind of love I'm looking for or was looking for, and that's what I found. That was one of my non-negotiables. And in a relationship, since we're going there, in a relationship, you have non-negotiables. And as long as he adhered to my non-negotiables, no drinking, no smoking, um, we have to be on one accord as far as our religious journey. So you can have your journey, I'll have mine, and the children that we produce in this relationship will choose their own. So we both agreed to that. So that was a non-negotiable. And we have the same goal. So having the same goal, you need that because without having the same goal and you trying to be in a relationship with someone, y'all have two different goals. You're going to be in two different relationships at the end of the day. Okay. He going to be in his and she's going to be in hers. And that might not mean that y'all together. I'm just saying, I'm not down in anybody's relationship because I've seen um, mixed couples of different faiths, different lifestyles, and different life status. They got along and they married and they stayed married for many years. For example, someone could be wealthy and marry someone who is not from money. And their marriage lasts longer than people who came up together and rubbed elbows with everybody and now they somewhere else. So it never matters. What matters is this person meets my non-negotiables. This person understands our goal. And we have this mutual goal. We maintain this mutual goal despite our growth independently and collaboratively. So with that being said, back to the whole aquarium thing. The tank is designed to never bust. And you know what? That aquarium that my husband purchased when we were courting in Chicago, he was really blessed to come up on that. And the guy handmade it. He custom made it, and he said he promised Eddie that it would never break or crack or anything. And if it did, come back to him. And the military and all the moves that we've done with the military, they have tested and tried to see if it really was going to be as sturdy and reliable as it has been. Now I haven't been able to move my aquarium fish, so I've had to get different fish throughout the years, which was fine because you just don't spend a lot of money on your fish if you got to move all the time. That's just, there's a lot of fish out there that do cost a lot of money, and they are very beautiful. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. But if you know that you're going to be moving around a lot, you have to stick to something like these guys. These guys are more affordable. And on the video, I'll show more, but these are glow tetra back here behind me, and um, that is a affordable fish. And these plants that's in these aquariums, they're versatile. So you can go from having them in an aquarium or planted in a pot or a terrarium. So they're you can move them, but also they're affordable and they grow fairly easy. So you don't necessarily have to spend a whole lot of money in order to, have your peace of mind. It gives you something to look forward to, and having something to look forward to, especially during times of a great deal of stress. That's what you really want. That's what you need. Something to look forward to. What you say, Michael? The aquarium is. Yes, it is. It's a lot of Okay, let's, for example, go back to where I said water means life. And yes, water is a symbol for life. And then you have oxygen. It provides a great deal of oxygen. And I'm an asthmatic. So I'm always looking for, ways to breathe easier. So and a lot of people, they have their various suggestions of how to make that happen or whatever. Plants. I don't have a green thumb. So if I don't have a green thumb and I'm trying. So now I'm becoming more frustrated because everybody said, well, try to grow plants. And I'm like, I can't grow plants. Hi, Sean Anthony. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing everything that Sean Anthony, that kid, he can grow some plants. But I struggle, and consistency is one of my struggles with it because I'm so busy doing so many things and helping other people that I don't have the time to consistently be concerned about a plant. That's just not my thing. So if it doesn't automatically water itself like my garden, it's just not gonna work out. So my garden that I had before we retired, oh, it was beautiful. It flourished. I had my rose bed and it had different types of, colors and everything. And that was very soothing, very relaxing to create all the ambiance outside that it provided. Um, but and it's so well. I'm really blessed in that area as well. But it's like when you start over because you're military, and where my military family at? Can y'all chime in? So when you're military, I've been responding to a lot of military families and helping them in their endeavors and their struggles. So it's like when you have to keep moving, it could be discouraging and it could be difficult. So everything that I created there, I have to recreate elsewhere, and that can be frustrating and scary, to an extent because you don't know, is this going to work out as well as the last one did, and is it going to be as great? And then you have all the other struggles that you have because you have to now integrate your life differently from what you did because now you're a civilian and you're not military, but you might still be government affiliated or whatever, but you or have some, some military ties because you're still doing different things. But the thing is, your life is changing, and change is inevitable. So you have to find some sort of thing that's consistent in your life. For example, I have the ability to create life and create all this beauty in all of these different ways with the yard and the aquarium, and just emphasize the things that you do well and take it with you. For example, find a way. I find a way all the time to take my aquariums with me. And this one behind me, I my husband said, well, if you sell the house and you move and everything, I'll get you another aquarium. I'll get you another aquarium. Now you're talking. So so now I can hear you talking, and now we're gonna move. So when one of the times a couple of times the people came and they said, oh, does the aquarium come with the house? I'm like, what? Do you understand what this aquarium symbolizes? This aquarium symbolizes that my husband understood that I was going to tell him, yes, hold on. There's some love behind this aquarium. I'm not letting this aquarium go. But my husband said that if they ask, then let them, and I'll get you another one. And this is that other one. So here we have a 200-gallon aquarium that is run off of um it, uh, uh, what is it? Its program lighting is the current USA lighting system, and it has this remote that you'll see in the videos. This remote here shows you the various ways that the aquarium can be programmed. And this remote is so awesome. It's a little difficult to program it though. So I'm going to have to show you that in different videos. But some people have the idea that the aquarium is supposed to be more clean than what it should be. And that did not produce the results that I have here today. So I'm going to share with you. Don't be so clean about it. I am so anal retentive that it is ridiculous. Okay. I had, when my husband first bought me, not this aquarium, but the first aquarium, the 75-gallon, he I was told that I had to clean the aquarium, and I took the fish out, put in the fish into a bucket, bought a bucket, put the fish in, put the fish into a bucket, took some Dawn and scrubbed the windows of the glass to try to clean the aquarium because I didn't want my room to smell like fish. That is just not going to happen for a female's room, okay? That's not happening for my bedroom. I'm just saying. So, and I would have company every now and again. Sometimes we would have choir rehearsal at my house. And you mean to tell me everybody's gonna put their coat in my room and it smells like what? So yeah, that was not gonna happen. So I had to make sure that it was always smelling, presentable. There was never a smell that came from my aquarium, and I'm so blessed in that manner because I not saying because I cleaned it like that because I don't do that anymore. I was just saying. And the fish survived, by the way. The fish survived, and they were very smart. I had African cichlids, and they got along with one another, even though they were from various parts and they weren't the same fish. They still got along, and it's because of the atmosphere that you provide. So you want to make sure that you have the right atmosphere, and your fish can survive. And I promise you, I was not great on changing the filter. Okay, because I said I'm inconsistent with stuff like that because I'm really busy. I'm always gone. I'm always doing something, trying to be helpful somewhere else. So I didn't have time to remember to purchase the filter before the store would close. So oftentimes the filter didn't get changed, but the fish were thriving, and not only thriving, but they were reproducing. And I was like, wait a minute. And I would tell people because I would ask, how do I do this? How do I do this? And they would tell me different things. I was like, well, uh-oh, too late. I already did that. And it would be the wrong thing that I had done. And I was like, uh-oh, that's a problem. I already, and they was like, you use soap, and they would scold me something terrible. You're crazy. What's wrong with you, lady? But besides the point. So it did make me feel some type of way. Like I was upset that they were screaming at me, and I'm like, what do you mean? I accomplished the goal, it got done. Everything's okay. But anyway, so they was like, well, that's not how you do it. And I'm like, well, y'all may want to, revisit how to do it. If I was successful at it and they're thriving to this point, you might want to revisit it. So I did see that people in the aquarium hobby, they do revisit how to do things. I went from a hang on the back aquarium filter to a sponge filter, which I'll be showing in that video. And the sponge filter allows you to be more cost effective in your hobby because now you don't have to purchase a hang on the back aquarium, which is another plug of energy that you have to plug into the outlet, and now you're drawing more power than you really need to be actually successful. Hobbyists have gone and made these aquarium sponges that connect to the air holes that you normally would use so that you could provide the circulation and the oxygen in the aquarium. That now you take that same hose and you connect it to the sponge filter, and it has an anchor on the bottom where it anchors itself down so that it will hold everything. And that, as the air is going into the sponge, is filtering the water. So now on that aquarium, I only have the lights, that's one plug, and the air hose, um, that's two, and maybe um, um, what do you call it? A heater. But that's it. That's three different things that you plug in, and it's not drawing very much power because the aquarium lights are LEDs, and they're full spectrum LED, current USA lights. So um, and these aquariums that I purchased the light system for, they have speakers, they have what do you call it? Um, a remote, and that, and the light, of course. So, and the remote. I said that. But that means that it's very small, and the background, and a light for the background. So I'll be showing that, but it's not pulling a lot of power. That means it's cost effective for you to be able to have this hobby and perpetuate, this kind of hobby. About the only thing that I can see you spending a lot of money for is the fish. So once you've purchased the light, and you don't have to purchase the whole lighting system, because I have an aquarium in my room. I know, right? That's crazy. But I told you, this is how I have my peace. Because yes, it's a lot of spirituality in it, positive spirituality, symbolism in it, and it's life. It's just, I can't go without it, um, and still have the same kind of peace, and the smile on my face that everybody's always, so curious. Why she always smiling? Because I'm always at peace. I'm always happy. But anyway, so the aquarium that I have in my room, I have a small aquarium, and the light system for it is just the light with the remote control, this remote control, and that's it. So it's just one plug, no speakers, no backdrop, no light backlighting. And again, it works the same way. So I can use the same remote control for all three of the aquariums, and the light, um, the full spectrum lighting, is able to help produce this kind of growth. Now, I did not purchase these plants as big as they have gotten. So what I did was I used this remote control where you can change up. Let me see if I can get the light, where you can change the light spectrum. So what a lot of people didn't tell me, I had to learn on my own, that these various spectrums of light provide different food sources for the plants, which will produce more plants, because the way the plants eat is through the light. The photosynthesis processes through the light. So you could give them plant food. You could put plant food in your aquarium, and I did that. And all of my fish from the very first video that I created and posted on social media, um, they're not there anymore because I had that fish food in there. I'm not saying disparaging things about the product, but I'm gonna put on there what kind of product it was that I used um in a different video. So don't don't think that you can't do it, because you can. But someone said, what do you want? Do you want fish or do you want plants? My answer is always, all the time, why should I choose? You'd be surprised, Michael, because I don't feed my fish, right? I have a fish feeder, automatic fish feeder, because that's another one of my things about inconsistency. When you helping other people, that means you have to neglect yourself a bit. And what I like to do, which is my aquariums. So I had to make sure that my fish were eating and not just eating each other, right? So I had to put an automatic feeder on the aquariums so that the fish will be consistently eating on schedule. They can hear that thing going, because as soon as the noise comes, and even if the food is empty, if the container is empty and that sound is being made, they still run up there. So fish are very smart, and they can hear, and there's no vibration There's no vibration because it's on the glass. It's kind of sitting on the glass. I'll show it in a video, but it's sitting on top of the glass. But the fish can still hear the noise that it's making, and they know that sound, like Pavlov's dog in psychology. They know that sound means I'm about to eat, so they run up there and in that corner over there, and they try to grab that food before anyone else does, because they want to make sure they get their fill before anyone else. So, but it's always more food than any other fish need. And I've already recorded it. It's pre-recorded, so I just have to post it. So this is me sharing with you how we're going to do this. Okay. So I recorded it, and one of the feedings are in the recording. So I'm going to post that so you can see how much food that they eat. So you don't have to ask how much food they eat, how do they eat, and you'll see, because I'm vocalizing as I'm holding the little GoPro here. I got the little GoPro, and I'm holding this as I'm showing you and talking to you, and the food automatically comes. So then you can see that the food automatically goes. So and it's scheduled. So I'll share with you how many times a day. In this current aquarium behind me is over 100 fish. I can't even count how many plants there are. So please don't ask me that. But I will share with you where I plant fish, and I'll show. I would also share a journey with you. Um, I'm thorough so that everyone have the information that they need in case they want to follow any of the steps that I did to get where I am now, because it's definitely possible. Now, I did not like purchasing my products from Petco, PetSmart, um, because the products were not, although they're insured for like 30 days, you're going to need those 30 days, and you're going to go back a million times. So that's gas money. That's, it's too many problems with that. Yeah, you get the fish and the plants and everything right now, right then, but the odds are that you're going to have to go back often to fix any problems, because the sorry about the internet connection here is raining. So despite the fact that you have it right now, they have that policy in place for a reason, because you're going to need it, and you're going to spend a lot of money in gas, and then they want to test your water. Look, I'm over 20 years in the hobby. You don't need to test my water. You just need to give my money back or give me the product again. But this time, make sure that your product is worthwhile, because I'm tired of coming back. So anyway, the speakers, though, on the aquarium are really for the guest. Okay, so there's a lot of times where me helping people involves people being over my house. So sometimes everybody is not able to do that, because I'm serious about my peace, and my home is my peace. So I do invite some people in and some people, at a distance, but it makes for a great ambiance for parties and things like that. So again, there are some people who are invited to parties here. So, and some people will go to wherever you are to have a party. Okay. But anyway, so one thing that I'm really serious about my peace in my home is because when we open the door to having a lot of people come into your home, even though they're gone, that ambiance that was there has been disturbed, because now it's like, oh, it doesn't even fit anymore, and the spirit that those people invite in, it doesn't fit with your environment, your peace. It disturbs your peace, and even if they're just in the vicinity, it still disturbs you. So I try in my old age as it is now. Hi, Matthew. um, I try to make sure, exactly, Jackie. Hey, how you doing? That bad energy is not in my home. And that's why I took the carpet up from my house that says welcome. I don't have that on the outside of my door. I have that on the inside of my door, and it's facing anyone that is already inside. So if you've been invited in and you're going out, it says welcome. But if you're just random, I'm opening the door, answering the door, or you're asking, and I'm like, no, I'll come outside. Just stay right there. I'll be out. So I've had to learn that being that nice to invite people in your home is not always a good idea. And I'm always so open and friendly that that was a problem for me to adjust to. Uh, you'll have to tell him to shut up, Matthew. He said sometimes his friends disturb his peace, so he tell them to shut up. This is what you do. You can redirect. I like to use that word, that phrase as redirect. Redirect because we still have to deal with people. And if we're in a conversation with them, we have to deal with them until at least the end of the conversation, even if we don't pick up a conversation with them after that point. So we redirect the conversation to something that we're more comfortable with or something that's less disturbing. Like I said in the previous video, where my dad is a fussy person and I have to find ways to talk to him where the fussing doesn't disturb my positive energy. So it's not to say that he's always fussy because he's not always fussy, but it's to say to use it for an example that sometimes you can love someone and they can be someone that you want to deal with, but you have to find a positive way to deal with that person. So because you're trying to force it the way that is uncomfortable for you, that's where you fall into the conflict. It is not that person. It is you, and you have to find a way to make this comfortable for you because they may not even know. They may not even be aware that they're making things uncomfortable for you. So once you express it, then it's no longer you, it's them. And you have to separate yourself because then it still falls on you to separate yourself from them. Okay. So about the aquarium, I oftentimes find myself, I don't even realize it, but I was on a call and I don't do this often, but it was a friend, it was a loved one, and I was on the phone talking, and I was watching the aquarium all that morning already, and doing a little knickknacks with it because I ordered some aquarium plants. I'm going to provide the information for it and give an evaluation for it, and give you all the information that you need to support that company because they're a great company. So I fell asleep and I didn't even realize I fall asleep because I was looking at the aquarium and I'm talking on the phone and I'm like, I didn't even know I was dozing. And before I knew it, I was clean gone. That was the other day. And I really and that person called back today and I was like, I'm so sorry. I told you I was, dealing with the aquarium. And if I tell you I'm dealing with my aquarium, odds are I'm really relaxed. I'm really at peace. And odds are if I sit down too long and I'm not talking anymore, I'm asleep. So this is a proven method of relaxation, of being able to bring your mind at peace and being able to self-soothe effectively, like the teddy bear. I didn't bring the teddy bear, so don't worry, don't look for him. So it's a symbol. Like I told you, the teddy bear is a universal symbol for, a lot of love and attention and something to cuddle and hold on to, right? That's something that you could take with you, and that's something that you have from a child to whatever age, and a lot of adults do have teddy bears. So don't look at me like I'm the only one that has a teddy bear. That my mother gave me that teddy bear. I'm keeping my teddy bear, Eddie. So you can have these things, but you can also grow other ways to self-soothe that's more age appropriate, I guess. Okay, so the aquarium, it can be a little frustrating because sometimes you'll get a plant from somewhere and you'll put it in your aquarium and it'll melt away, it'll die. And you're looking like, well, what did I do wrong? It's not necessarily that you did anything wrong. And it's like me, when I purchased these plants, I was like, oh, what am I doing wrong? The stuff is dying. And then once I got it to the point where everything was thriving, the fish started to die because I put the fish food in there. What'd you say, Matthew? I use my pillow as a teddy bear. Hey, a lot of guys, I'm not gonna say a lot of guys use their pillow as a teddy bear. Sometimes teddy bear just uh you better not see, this is why I have to hide my stuff. I can't have my stuff just out in the open. I'm one female in the house of five Eddies. So this just not working for me. And you can ask my mother, uh, his mom. You can ask her because she birthed them. She knows what I'm dealing with here. It's like times five, okay? So Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. So I have to hide my stuff. See the comments? You see that? That's why I have to hide my stuff because people looking for them. People looking, and I don't want it to go away. So I had to put my bicycle down. I have a mountain bike, and normally I'll go bike riding and ride my problems away. And before that, I used to run, and I was a track star. And I used to run and run and run, and that was my source of self-soothing and being able to help myself heal and redirect that negative energy to something positive. Um, and I couldn't do that because it was dangerous for women to be out there running. So I got on my bicycle and I took my mountain bike and I ran and I rode and I rode and I rode, and that became a little dangerous for women to do alone. And I used to roller skate, and I used to go to the skating rink, and I had a group of guys that I went with um, in Chicago. It was my boys, my brothers. They would all protect me and comfort me, and we would all go out and enjoy ourselves. My best friends, okay. And then I left home, and that wasn't an option anymore. And the best time I ever had was um, just spending my time with all those guys, and I don't have that. So that was one of my methods of soothing that I could not do anymore. So what else was there? I still had my aquarium. So I was able to go back to that. So what am I saying? You need to have multiple ways to soothe yourself, and it should not be pending someone else. It should be something that is only about you. What can you do to control this thing that you're doing? For example, I can control um, my bike riding. I can do bike riding, but I'm extremely limited because now I have children and I can't just not watch the kids because I'm bike riding and I'm more advanced than them. So I can't just just leave them. That's not cool. I'm not judging. If you do that, I'm not judging. I'm saying me. I can't do it. And I can't just ride my skates and, one of my kids fall and scrape their knee. Now I have to stop. They fall off their bike. I got to stop now. So I can't do that. And that's okay. So I had to find another avenue. So I may have to gain a little weight while I'm in the process of transitioning from them being, little babies to older, and now they can do it, and it's more practical now. And that's fine because modeling a size zero isn't all it's cracked up to be. I liked it when it was that time, and I was, as young as I was, 20s and stuff like that. It's a great time to model a size zero. But the older you get, in my culture, the more people expect that there's going to be some meat to hold on to. So I had to work on that. So once I did that, everything was cool. But I got a little too much junk in the trunk now. So we're gonna get back to, doing things that help me to get back to what I'm comfortable with. I wasn't comfortable with a size zero. I'm just saying transference cannot be a sound mind. Yes, it is biblical. And in any method of um, positive spiritual journeys, they show you that a peace of mind is drawn from a lot of nature, and a lot of psychology studies, like the human behavior and the mind and how people interact, and that will help you interact better with other people because you're studying these things. For example, um, watching the way fish live, and a lot of people say, well, some fish can't live together. I have not experienced that. I've experienced that. I had some gouramis and some beta, a couple of beta males and a couple of female betas, all living in the same aquarium with African cichlids and things. I posted the video. I'll share it again on Erudition. I posted it on social media, but I'll post it on Erudition. And the impossible is possible. You can have those different fish to get along and be from different, totally different. They're supposed to eat those fish, type of fish. And the food that you're sitting there supposed to eat, you're now sitting there cohabitating with, and that is definitely possible. Whereas some people said that doesn't happen. Yeah, I kind of proved it before I killed them. So I didn't see that coming. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Yes, that is so true. And the way that you obtain that peace of mind is all up to you. But this is how I do it: gardening, bike riding, roller skating. I do not rollerblade. I don't like the restriction on my ankle. Um, Aquarium hobbies. I love to play billiards. Um, Swimming. I love swimming. There's various things you can do, and these are all positive things to self-soothe and bring your mind at peace. And if you have to go to a gym and punch a bag, go ahead and do that and exert that energy. But still, you need to come to a point where you're bringing your mind at peace, at rest, so that you can transcend in a way where you can see things a little more clearly, because now you have a different perspective. And it was obtained in a positive way, not just by force. Now, the Bible does say that you sometimes you do have to take things by force, but it's not always the case. For example, when the men marched around the wall, they thought that we're going to war, but God had told them to march around the wall of Jericho. And while everybody's thinking about they're going to be at war, they're going to go to war, God had a different plan. So they did not actually physically go to war. The peace and everything was had by different means. So we can't always link to our own understanding. We have to just follow the process and see where it leads you, and don't have a preconceived notion as to where you should be just because you did this one thing, because this may lead to that and that may lead to this. So you have to just keep going with it, because I didn't know where this was going to go when I did this aquarium, because I was like, I'm not touching that. Fish are slimy, fish are stinky. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. I don't, them tiny little critter things, I can't do it. But look at here where I am now. So I can't go out and punch a dude. Well, it may get you a bit of gratification to go out there and punch somebody in the face that's irritating you or annoying you, but it's also going to damage you. And that's what I'm saying about self-soothing. Self-soothing should not also damage you. So if you're punching a punching bag and you're getting blisters on your hands, I know, because I can hit a punching bag and I can get it some go. I need somebody that's strong to hold that bag, okay? But if you're damaging yourself, that's not helping, is it? How helpful is it that the thing that you're trying to do to help yourself is also harming you? So we're looking for something that provides peace completely for your whole man, not just for your mind, but for your body and your soul. So, yeah, my hands may get a little dirty with these plants and these fish, but it's not hurting me. If I mean, if it splashes in my eye, I'll just rinse my eye out real fast so it doesn't harm me. But that's about the only way that it can harm me. But I'm very diligent to be careful. Okay, if you damage others, for example, you allow your anger to tell you what Matthew say, tell people to shut up instead of just redirect them and move out of the way. Anger is only something to bring you down if somebody sees unless you're angry. Okay, that's a good point, Matthew. Is it does it matter if someone sees that they damage you? It doesn't matter, because it happened. For example, some people say they have tough skin. I heard that today in a meeting. They have tough skin, and behind the scenes they're crying their eyes out. They're just bawling. And it doesn't matter that they saw it or didn't see it. It was damaging. So I'm going to say no. They say if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, did it happen? Yes, Taisha, I know you love to skate. I'm right there with you, sis. Uh, Water doesn't hurt. Sometimes if it get in your eye, it will. I know, but it's like if it's like this. If someone's trying to hurt you, then you understand that they're trying to hurt you, but you don't have to let that accomplish the goal, because it's written, no weapon formed against you will prosper. And if you really have faith, then that will be true. I know, because at one point I didn't believe. I was raised to believe, I have two sides of me. I have my Republican father, who's a good guy, you know, and I have my Democrat mother, whose family name in history is synonymous with historical segregation of schools. But all the while, when I may look like my father, I may look like my mother, all the while I'm just me. And I don't choose sides because I don't have to. I shouldn't have to. So I love them equally, just differently. So it's not damaging me, even though they can't see it because they're not looking at it from, any other perspective but their own. There is a damage that's happening if you're making me pick. So whether they know it or whether they acknowledge it or not, it's still happening. So is it still damaging others if they can't see it? Yes, it is, because now I'm gonna act some type of way towards you and that person or whomever it is. So yes, it is still damaging, and it's avoidable damage. So how do we avoid the damage? Well, we redirect the energy, and that's why I use my father as an example of redirecting energy, because most oftentimes that's the person I'm redirecting the energy with. I'm just saying, what'd you say? If a tree falls by itself in the woods, no one hears it. Okay, well, people care because that means something. It means something. So yeah, somebody care. The animal it crushed probably. Oh, we're not many individuals. Yes, we are a mixture. And a lot of times, and you don't have that experience, Matthew, because I don't make you choose. I don't care if it falls. I know, right? The critter that it fell on don't want it to be under either. But anyway, so it's not enough to say no one saw me do it. It's not enough to say, well, I caused you harm, but I prayed for you. That I didn't make the changes that you needed, but oh, I send my thoughts and prayers. We're coming to understand a lot of things with these cases of 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 school endangerment, where that's just not enough for people to say, oh, we didn't change the policy, but our thoughts and prayers are with you. No, because the damage is still there. So we are coming to understand these things, and we are being more vocal with the fact that we do understand and we don't want this. So moving forward, that's me. I'm moving forward. I'm already bringing you forward before we even come into these things where we're in this repetitive, dangerous, toxic cycle that's damaging towards our mental and physical, because we're fed up. People are fed up. So what do we do about that? We have to redirect. And how do we redirect? But it first starts with you. Matthew speaks. Yes, you do. And yes, you have digressed. What would happen? Well, I'll feel it. From Mount we're gonna feel it. If we don't hear it, we're gonna feel it. And that's what I'm saying here. We all feel it. We're feeling it. Even if it accomplishes the goal that someone sets out there and try to make you lose your mind, you know, or someone out there tries to make you have a heart attack because they're stressing you and worrying you, trying to worry you to death. Um, you know, the Bible says return it to the sender. And if they don't want it returned, then they need to know better than to send it. Okay? Don't send it, because you're going to run into somebody that knows what the word says, knows that different studies and different faiths show. Don't do that, because you'll get it back in return. Shake down, press together, and 100-fold, running over. Okay? So don't do that. So that's why you never want to put negative energy out there. You never want to do anything that's damaging to someone else just because you're trying to help yourself. So yeah, be careful with that. What Matthew is giving another level. I know, right? Matthew deep. He stay deep with it. Oh, listen to that. And now you're gonna see the food come down. Remember, so I'm making this simple for kids to understand, because we need our next generation to grow up. And that's what the word says, Matthew. You got a great point. The Bible says that they're wiser, younger. So you are absolutely on point of where you're supposed to be. You are made for such a time as that you are going into the future. So You are definitely on track, and I don't like to dissuade young people because they have a different perspective and a different way of getting to where they're going. I don't like to do that because I may be wrong. So I just let them do what they do, and I provide guidance as to a way that's safe for them to do. But it's up to them what they do with that information. What did you say? Mountains are falling in this country. Yeah, and that's a good point. And that's going to have to be for another time because right now we're talking about these self-soothing methods, and going down that line, we're going to get into the reason why we need these things of self-soothing. So I want to try in the very near future. I want to try solar system on the aquarium so that I can see how that works and how long it takes to store up enough power to run just the 75-gallon aquarium where it's only three different plugs that's plugged into the system. How long it takes, and I'm gonna do an evaluation of that. But that's to come. So keep an eye out because a lot of people they want to have this hobby, but they want the conservation methods. For example, they want to conserve water, they want to conserve energy, and they want things to be far more cost effective. We can do that. We have seen that we can do that, and that those are in video. And subscribe and like all the videos so I know that this is what you want to see. Okay, so another way to feel a piece of. Well, the reason why I said don't base your peace of mind on a person or something that a person can do for you is because those people don't know. They don't know. And oftentimes we don't have the words to convey how we're feeling. How are you hurting me? Why am I backing off from you? Why is this? Why is that? We don't have the words to convey that. So that person can only respond by what we're doing. So you don't want to base your peace of mind, your happiness, or anything based on someone else more so than what you can do for yourself and for others to make you happy. What you say? Now have 80. Okay, now. Thank you. Yes, thank you to the viewers. We've just started and we're starting off on a good foot. So let's keep in that good energy. Let's keep that going. So please like, subscribe, and share so that other people can see that this is some things that they can use to be getting the help that they need for free. But don't forget, we still need to work on making it known that we want mental health care to be free for everyone so people can get the help that they need at a deeper level than just the superficial level that I'm providing, which is showing you how to get help when you need it. Okay, I have other videos, so please go and see the videos of where I presented the pyramid of human hierarchy of needs so you can get that information and keep building on yourself and continue to stay at peace. And one thing that I love to do, love, that I can take with me, regardless of where I am and regardless of my aquarium hobbies and all of my various hobbies and things that I like to do, if I can't find a billiards room or a safe billiards room or whatever, I always have my ability to tell jokes, and I'm really good at it. So I'm not saying that everybody is a good joke teller. Some people, they like to sing. Some people like to dance. Some people like to do different things. And I'm supportive of all of that. All things decently and in order, though. So whatever that means for you, okay, whatever's comfortable for you. So I don't want you to think that you're limited just because you have to focus more on what you're doing as opposed to what other people are doing. What other people are doing impacts what you're doing, but you first, okay? You have to put you first. And how do we get in our own way and how do we get out of our own way? That's in videos to come. But I'm talking about the aquariums because I'm going to share this and I don't want you to be surprised of why I'm sharing it and what's going on with me sharing it and what is all this information about. So this aquarium is a little bit more advanced than the 75-gallon aquarium because this aquarium has under here you can see at the top, you can see where the outtake valve is there, and there's two intake valves. So this aquarium has a sump system underneath. This was a custom build. Um, it was difficult to get them to do everything, but they solved the problem. So I will promote where I did receive it from, and where I had it built. But I would strongly suggest that um, you find your own place to have your aquarium custom built, because you may, like me, be in a situation where you cannot get service from that company to come out and set everything up for you, or you may be in a situation where the company can't deliver the product to you without a lot of conflict. So that's what I encountered. Um, so you may not have that problem. So I will tell you where I got it from, who I got it from, and what transpired in our interactions via emails and other sources of communication. Because I don't do he say, she say. I do facts. Okay. So we never get that confused. I do facts. I don't do he say, she say. I will tell you the truth, the honest to goodness truth, and I will try very hard to put a positive spin on it. And you can take from that what you will. Okay. But everything that happens is not always positive. And just because you don't have all positive um, encounters doesn't mean that it can't be worked out. For example, um, where I received my fish from for this aquarium one time during the pandemic, they sent me a box full of beautiful, colorful fish that I ordered. Lovely fish. Every one of those fish were dead. Oh, it broke my heart. Now, you want to say emotional, what they say, emotional damage. I know I keep saying that wrong, because because when I hear it, it's funny, so I can't even concentrate. So it was emotional damage. Okay, they sent me this box, and if I was ever going to cry about something, I would have cried about that. I was so crushed, but I couldn't bring myself to cry. So it's whatever. I still have feelings. I still have emotions. I'm just saying I couldn't, even though I loved it. And it was a lot of money worth of fish, because those fish were rather expensive. And that's why it's difficult to have such a hobby as this, when you have to depend on people sending you these expensive products for, um, a very short period of time, and it's surviving. Okay. But they corrected their mistake, and it was a mistake. Um, I don't know how the mistake was made. I didn't care. I just cared that they fixed it, and it was no cost to me. I just had to pay my time. And that's where I'm always, upset, because, like, man, I'm waiting again. But patience is a virtue. I don't know. I suppose we all have to have it. But looking at the aquarium and looking at all the beautiful fish, those are cardinal tetras in the background there, cardinals, and some dino tetra, dino glow tetra, and there is some artificial stuff in there, because you need to have some place where the fish can hide and breed, and that means some caves. And I could not find wood that would give the substantial um, provide that. So I had to, make do, make do. So it's some artificial, but mostly live. And we have a lot of wood. I use Malaysian wood. People have their particular, desires, but I use Malaysian wood because Malaysian wood seems more aesthetically pleasing. I like the dark girthiness, and it doesn't put off as much tenants as all the other stuff clouding your water. It doesn't cloud the water, and I want something that's going to nourish the water so that the water is not damaging. Should a kid, decide put their hand in the fish tank, and then for some reason or another they put their hand in their mouth. Children do that. And some guys, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put it out there. Some guys, they don't realize that they've done that, and they'll eat something right after having, and you don't want them to get sick. So you want the water to be very healthy. So the sump system has a sock, and it has a lot of filtration. I love to over filter my aquariums because I don't like to clean it. So I'm going to tell you how I do that. You'll be surprised. But this aquarium, this 200-gallon aquarium behind me, I may clean it 3 times in a year. One time I got away with just cleaning it once a year. So, and my 75 a gallon aquarium, I think it was like the longest I went without having to clean it was over a year. So I'm going to give those tips. So stay tuned and remember to subscribe, because when I put these videos out there, I want to put some videos out there where it is just the visual of the fish so that you can see what I see. Uh, and what I see when I look at the fish is just peace, quiet. I don't want to talk during it, but I'm going to provide the footage where I have talked through the video so that you can see what I did, so you can accomplish the same goals. And I'm going to give you some tricks that I've done that I've found successful. Um, and some people, they all have their own ways of doing things and telling you what you can't do. But I have not experienced that. And I'm going to share with you how I avoided those problems and doing the no-nos that they say don't do. Yes, thank you for joining us, everyone. We do appreciate it, and we appreciate the growth that you are showing interest. And if you click the like and you interact, we can get more involved into what you would like to see. um, and of course, I can't give everything for free, but what I can give you for free will be more than worth your time. And what the objective here is to show that people want this guided perspective, and they want it for free because they'll show up for it and they'll stay for it. So that is the objective. That is the main objective, that you will show up for free help because you want the help. You're not seeking help because you don't want the help. You're not seeking help because, one, you don't know where to find it. Two, you don't know how to ask for it. And three, it's too costly. So prove me right, everybody. Prove me right. Come on, I'm trying to help us all, okay? Because I want to go grocery shopping safely. And I mean off the base. And yeah, I'll go grocery shopping on the base because I want to be safe, but I still want to enjoy civilian life. So, and I want all of my family members who are civilians and friends who are civilians, I want us to be able to safely venture out into society without having to be worried about being in a war zone, impromptu war zone. So I appreciate you all's time, and remember what the goal is here. Okay? You all have a good day.